Have you heard of a company called Death of All Things on Instagram? If not, stay towards the end of the video. You're going to want to see this. How's it going, Blasters? There's going to be a video that we're going to be doing today. This is going to be, again, for Blade Banter. We're going to build a community for discussions and then also to allow you to have some specifications for an educated decision when you make a purchase on your knife. This one is going to be the one that is the Benchmade full-size Griptilian. And then before I get into that, I did watch a video from Jack Farmboy. So he had a Browse blades, a Silent Soldier. On that video, check it out for that one. It's kind of like one of those drop the mic moments for his, so makes me just want to quit, but not really, but just really good thing on that. So it's a lot of the good things between some of the community as far as just that, being able to kind of just see what they're doing out there and then really kind of push each other to try and try new things. So good job to him. Check it out for the Browse blades. Silent Soldier. So now we're going to roll into the first thing for the hand sizing. So we're going to roll into that one for the male's hand first. So then straight across, and then going to be at an angle. And then going to have the female's hand, so across, and then also an angle where you'd normally hold the blade. For the steel size and the steel comparison for this one, originally the knife comes with 154 cm. This one actually is the Cabela exclusive. So Cabela's exclusive knife. This one does come in D2. So if you can see possibly on the blade here, as far as that. So D2. So that's that one there. So that's what it comes in. So it's a D2 exclusive to them. So if you went to the Benchmade's website, you actually could not order this from the website in a D2 blade, and that is through Cabela's. Looking at that one, as far as some of the steel comparisons between that, kind of roll that up, and then you can kind of see between 154 cm and also D2 what that's going to look like. If you take care of your blade, this one is a coated one as well. So that's going to help out a little bit for that, but that's where it's going to be some issue for D2. So on the lower end there, compared to the 154 cm, and then we have steel hardness. We'll have both of those as well for the 154 cm, which is the factory one, the baseline, and then you're going to have the D2, which this one is. Then wear resistance for the blade, so 154 cm, and then D2. And then kind of rolling all those things together is going to be as far as the edge retention, and then that's going to be kind of multiple factors that play into it. So kind of like almost like an average, and you're going to have that as far as the 154 cm and D2 for those. So we're also going to look as far as how this rides in pocket. So I just have a knife roll so that you can see the picture on that as far as what that looks like over here in the picture. So comparison on the knife itself, I have some other ones in my collection that kind of the similar sizing. It's not going to be the same, of course, so this one's the axis lock. I do have another one that's going to be axis lock as well, which is going to be the Firebird knife, but we'll just roll into some of these. So 801, fairly popular for that. A new one for the Real Steel Griffin. And just to show it on camera here, we do have the K-Bars. This is their first flipper knife in the company's history. So that's going to be one that you're going to want to check out. And then also for this one is actually, even this is a Griptilian, this one is the Magnum Arctic Ocean Sailor, or AOS as I like to call it. This one actually is probably the grippiest that I've ever experienced. This kind of like the rifle pattern of a gun, but it just, I mean, this one is, that's a Griptilian. This one, a little slippery, but that one right there. So that one's going to be the Arctic Ocean Sailor Magnum by Boker. And then we do have the CRKT. is a Voss. So this one does have the takedown mechanism for the field strip. So that's going to be the comparison on those in the open position. And then you're going to see as far as the weight on it. So 3.25 is what it actually lists for. So 3.25 is what they list for this knife. So we'll see where that sits for this one. So 3.8, so a little bit heavier than what is listed on the Cabela's site. So this is a little bit heavier than that for the weight. So we're also looking at the edge. So we already are going to go into the sharpness test. So that's one thing that we look at also for this edge. So that's one thing that we look at for the Carson pocket microscope, which is kind of a cool little device. So it just looks like this. If you have never seen one before, I learned about it through shortcut reviews. It does light up at the bottom and look through that top portion. It does take a little bit of practice to actually get a picture through that, but you can kind of see what that looks like here as far as what that edge actually looks like really magnified. So that's kind of a cool little thing for that. So for the actual sizing, so it matched up pretty well. So we'll roll into kind of the sizing for the blade, and then as well as the handle, and then we'll have that also in centimeters and inches. So you can kind of look at those two. So for the blade side, and then for the handle. So those are the things that we have there. We'll roll right into the sharpness test, and do let me know on this one as far as whether you'd like to see this on camera or not, but we'll roll into that one right now. So anybody that's not familiar with the channel, I do have this little sharpness tester that I made with a fidget spinner and some best media. So there's going to be something that's going to be a testing that goes off some basic standards. So it actually tests in the same location on the blade. So that's the one thing that I actually like about it when I was designing it. But we'll see what this turns out to be. And then do let me know if there's something that you guys like to see on camera, or if you'd rather have this test done off camera. I just give you a number for it. So 185, first one. Let's see what the secondary pull looks like. Trying to do it fairly consistent as far as the pull pressure with this Lyman pull gauge. And then that one averages out to be 197. So I added 18 to that because in the fidget spinner itself, that puts in about 18 grams. So when it's actually lowered down on the blade, it actually adds that 18 grams just by itself. But 197 on average on that. So the current pricing on this one is going to be for $119.99. So that's what you're going to be paying at Cabela's for this knife. So that's where you're going to see if that's going to be what you're looking for as far as a knife, what you want to spend for one. But this one is also Mr. Blauer ones, so you can get it for about 30% off. It is a used one, so it does have a little bit of wear on the actual coating. But for this one, still D2, still has a Life Sharp warranty through Benchmade at $86. So send him an email down here for if you want to make contact with him. If you do and you like it, send him an email, take care of that, and I'll send this one off to you. But for buy, borrow, or avoid for this one, I'll probably actually like it a lot better. This one might get me in trouble, but I really like it better than 940. I think something broke or something, because I don't think people like to hear that, but I kind of like it. So it has a lot of deployments, so same thing with any of the Benchmades. But I just think it just kind of works better for it. So I did get the other one serviced, so it will be coming back in. So we'll see if that's, I may change my mind for a freshly serviced Benchmade 940. So before I end that, so if anybody, there's some people that have already seen this, but for the Benchmade knives, there's Ryan on Instagram. It goes by Death of All Things. I'm going to put some pictures up here. No affiliation. I haven't ordered anything from him. I do want to. I do want to get a set of scales from it at some point. If I save up, I will get some. But we're going to throw up some pictures on that because it's just beautiful. I mean, you might want to sit down for this as far as what it looks like, because these scales are just something that Benchmade itself, because I thought when I saw one of them, I thought it was one of the gold class Benchmade. So it was actually really interesting that you can actually pick up your regular 940, your Griptilian, mini Griptilian, and then get some custom scales to put on it. So carbon fiber, G10, there's just a gamut of stuff on there. So check it out. You might want to sit down again and then see what you think on that. Let me know what you think about the Benchmade full-size Griptilian. I have a mini Griptilian I also sent off for repair or service. So I don't have a full-size grip. This one is the one on loan. But do let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you very much for your time.